But I think actually the best advice is like, find out what you're good at, right? Because I think there's a lot of people who like, especially in the musical, like, I love making music. And they say that, but they don't. You don't. Be honest with yourself. You know, you don't. You have to have self-awareness. Like, if you like making music, you be doing it.
Hey guys, we have Sean Daniel today here in the YouTube channel.
Oh man, it feels good to be here, buddy.
Welcome, brother. How come you have a Starbucks just like I do?
You know, because we just went there. As true champions of the economy, serving the corporate overlords.
That is it.
Got the job done.
It's done, and now we're ready to speak some crazy cool ideas for you guys to be entertained and watch the entirety of this video.
That's right, and then make a comment.
Make a comment. Tell us what happened.
About who's more handsome.
Well,
let the people decide. This is called engagement bait. We're baiting engagement. Well, you just saw a movie that was inspiring to you, right?
Yeah, me and my wife saw the Bob Dylan film.
I refuse to watch it. Timothy Chalamet is not my Bob Dylan.
For real?
Not my Bob.
I told him he's got to watch it. He did a great job.
I know the story. I feel like I know the story pretty well.
I'm not going to spoil it for any of you.
He dies.
But he dies at the end. My wife, Kristen, was telling me an idea for a video. So this is basically my wife's idea. How to get out of your own box as an artist. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, you fall into one thing that you're known for. Too afraid to get out of that box because you don't want to disappoint the people that came because of that thing. You should still do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do, but keep an eye on what's working, you know? I think that's very important for me is like, you know, I'm a musician, but also I feel like I'm professionally a content creator first. And it's kind of walking a fine line between what you think is like artistry versus what just makes sense. You know, one thing that's kind of funny is like, especially with musicians, there seems to be like a lot of these real bleeding heart musicians where it's like, I just do it all for the art. And like, they're just poor forever and then they die and nobody knows. So I think like, I don't have a lot of sympathy for people like that because they're just too rigid to kind of adapt. But kind of what you're saying is if you're not inspired by what you're doing, I feel like that kind of comes through in the end product.
It is very true. The advice you gave me a long time ago, I haven't done yet, which is stick to one thing, like whether it's gear reviews or something like that.
Yeah.
To get it started. Mm-hmm. I think that's great advice. If you find something that brings you success and you don't mind doing, right? I don't mind testing products.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you're great at it, you know? You know what you're doing.
Thanks. Do more of certain content that I know will bring me subscribers.
Right.
Once I have you guys, then I can share other things. Oh, I thought you saw something over there. I'm like, are you looking through the window over there? Once I have you guys right here, then I can share with you all the things that I love. Mm-hmm. For example, something I really love is making vlogs and filmmaking kind of content. You know,
you're great at it.
The film look. I love that.
It looks so cinematic when you do
it. Well, thank you so much.
Whereas like my stuff is like, I just like iPhone, like, oh, here I am, haggard
But that's just the cool thing about how every personality is so different. You know, like what you're saying, how you're more about like, start the video, let's get it done.
For sure.
That's something admirable too. So they're like two different personalities, both with the pros and the cons, and I just think I gotta do more of what you do.
You know, in a way, but again, if you don't want to do it, like it's, I think one of your things has been a hesitation to do things you don't want to do, and just don't do that then. You know, like there are things that I know that I could be more successful with, like if I did some kind of like guitar reaction channel and bake that into my content, like it would get more views than maybe my mainline stuff.
Exactly.
But I just don't want to be a reaction channel. You know,
that's it.
YouTube is like pushing reaction stuff all the time, and it's like I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it will be so easy to just find something just for the money, and that's kind of like the main point here is, no, don't do it for the money. Do it because you like doing it. See what I mean?
Oh, like, so elusive, the elusive nature of money.
But yeah, definitely I think you gotta come out of a box that you put yourself into. That's the whole thing about this video is unbox yourself. You do a lot of unboxings.
This is unboxing
we have to unbox ourselves.
Yeah,
And because that's the only way we're gonna evolve, by keep doing something you really like to do, you really love to do. You're only gonna get better at the one thing you do a lot. And you're only gonna do that thing a lot if you love to do it.
That's right.
Do it.
That's wow.
It's a short freaking video because
oh my gosh, that's it.
what else can you say?
I mean, if we are unboxing ourselves, you could update me on the new features of the Colin model. About 5'11", 5'10",
5'10",
175,
5'10", an amazing vision that starting to require glasses, but it's,
you know what's funny about that is like I'm so refusing to wear glasses. I'll just live blindly.
That's what I'm.
Like
that's what
I
I've been,
haven't been able to read a restaurant menu in years.
we're really unboxing ourselves.
It's
We are really unboxing ourselves here.
The nice thing about being vegan,
I didn't know that.
The nice thing about being vegan is like I'll just have the one vegan thing. Because I'm also not gonna be like put my like little.
There's not much else to say. Do what you love.
Do what you love, and when it's unsuccessful, give up and try something different. Pivot to something that you tangentially love. You know, that's more it. But I think actually the best advice is like find out what you're good at, right? Because I think there's a lot of people who like, especially in the musical, like I love making music, and they say that, but they don't. You don't. Be honest with yourself. You know, you don't. You have to have self-awareness. Like if you like making music, you be doing it. You know what I mean? Like
you have a great point.
So find out what you're good at and then lean into that. Because if you really were good at making music, you'd be doing it, right? And it's like there's no shame in that.
Can I add something to this?
Yeah, please.
You have to learn to identify what you truly love and are passionate about from what you are into at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Especially when you're my age, when you're nearing 40s. It's so easy to get into one thing, you know, like, oh wow, now I love plants. Now my life gravitates
This is it,
around plants.
Go hard, yeah.
Is this what I am into and in 2 weeks I want anymore? Or is this something I'm really passionate?
Yeah.
I think that's something too to keep in
that's
mind.
for sure a good
What do
point,
you
yeah.
really like for life? Not just at the moment.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, don't trick yourself into thinking that like your passion is something that everybody's passion is. I'm gonna start a Twitch video game streaming channel. It's like, well, are you though? Like,
Yeah,
okay, why?
are you in like a year or 2 years? Are you gonna want to keep doing that?
I'm gonna take my hat and throw it into the ring of the most saturated content of all time and do that. It's like, okay, well, like that's why it's not gonna be successful, right? It's not like a thoughtful plan behind it. But if you are good at something and you're very passionate about it, lean into it and then get better. Double down on your strengths, and then have that be the driver of everything that you do. But you gotta be good at it. Like that's it. Like there's no shortcuts. Like you gotta really be good at it.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like my channel only really blew up because like I have an expert level knowledge of music theory, right? Like if I didn't have that, then it's like what differentiates me from anybody else? Like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of funny.
But at the same time, when you started, you didn't have a fear that am I good enough? Should I do
for
it?
sure. Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't have- and that's also the thing. You shouldn't be afraid because you're not good yet. You shouldn't be afraid to jump into it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. You'll get better as you do it.
You'll get better as you're doing it. So it's kind of like
So find out what your passion is and lean in.
that's it. Well, guys, give this guy a follow if you haven't already in all his platforms. And
Check it out. We're 2 months away from being a full reaction channel. So,
that's right.
So get ready for that.
And get ready to see all about plants, and that's it.
Love it. Plant content on the way.
Just kidding. Or maybe. You don't know.
I don't.
And this was the unboxing of Andres Colin and Sean Daniel. Thanks.
Done.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, it wasn't recording? Just kidding.